Rhian Brewster, how is he today?
Yeah, well, he's down. He's significantly injured his hamstring, so it's the same leg but a different injury. So yeah, we're just getting to the bottom of it. But that's all I could probably say at the minute. It is a significant one, and we're going to have to do without him for a bit, and obviously help him through it and make sure he comes back fitter and stronger again.
So there isn't really an idea yet as to a time scale as to how long he might be out for?
No.
And how is he then? Because he was a player that, it might have been me recently saying, he's getting going now, isn't he? Isn't it good to see? And now it's hit the bricks.
Yeah, and that's what makes it more frustrating for him, for us. But yeah, he's part and parcel of being a footballer. He'll get many more. Hopefully he has a long career and he'll get many more. But any footballer will tell you it's the worst thing to happen, to be injured, because you're helpless in terms of getting back in the team and helping your teammates, and it can be lonely. So yeah, we'll help him through it. He'll get all the support and all the expertise that we've got to help him come back. And like I say, he'll come back stronger and fitter like he did the last time.
Iliman and Jai was also an injury concern after the match the other day. How's he?
Yeah, he's fine. As I said, it was more impact and fatigue. Like, he's played a lot of minutes lately, so his legs were getting tired, cramping up a bit. But he did get a bang as well on the knee. But that he's fine.
Any other fitness issues as we look ahead to Birmingham?
No, not from that game. Just as was, a couple of little knocks, a few tired legs, but just part and parcel of the game. Yeah, nothing that's ruled anyone out of training. We've had everyone else, barring Rhian, fit and available today.
Do you have anybody back that was previously injured then? Because that list is actually getting a bit, Brewster aside, of course, is getting a bit short at the minute.
Yeah, so Morgan was in today. So Morgan's first day back with the group today, which is great. So we've got him back with us, training well. Obviously we had Charlie in with us, first day with the squad today. And we've obviously brought Jebbo back from Burton, so they're the extra bodies.
So Jefferson's come back then. What guarantees, if any, have been given to him about playing time?
Yeah, none. You've got to be good. You've got to get in the team. Simple. We were discussing it anyway, weren't we? As I said, we've always kept a close eye on it. It was a fantastic loan for him. He's scored goals now in League One. Been working with Jimmy, who's done a great job with him, and we thank him for that. And I know that Jimmy and Burton are thankful for letting us, for Jebbo going out there, but we're thankful as well for the work they've done with him and the trust they've put in him as a young boy leading the line for them. But obviously then with the injury to Rhian, it became even more important and that he had to come back. So yeah, he's one of our front players now. We know what he offers. He does offer something a little bit different. That's why he got in the Premier League team last year and scored goals in the Premier League. His willingness to run in behind is a real big asset. His fitness and his running power is really good for us, both with the ball and without the ball. So I've had a chat with him this morning about that, in terms of he knows his strengths, he knows what he can bring that's different to everybody else, and that's the things that's going to get him the minutes on the pitch.
Is that perhaps the greatest sign of his development at Burton then, over and above that young kid who was very much an unknown quantity who scored at Everton?
Yeah, but we know, obviously we've worked with him a lot within the academy, so we know what he is and what his potential is, and he's nowhere near finished. We think he can improve further and keep getting better. So that was going to be one of the reasons maybe we called him back anyway, just to keep working with him and get him closer to the squad for next season. But we would have kept him with Jimmy and the work he was doing there, because he was getting 90 minutes and really learning how to play against different types of opposition on a Saturday afternoon where you're playing for the 3 points. So he's certainly benefited from that. He's noticed a jump and he's noticed a difference when he's come back training here in terms of the intensity that we're training at the minute, which is great, which is exactly what we want, and that'll only help him further.
Let's talk about other issues that have transpired this week. Obviously, Lys Mousset has been moved on to Salernitana. Why did it go south for him, do you think, so quickly at Sheffield United?
Yeah, he just never really got a run, did he? Everyone's seen what he can do, but it's been in short spells. So And then the footballer's job is to get past and get beyond the others who's in your place, and contribute and be part of the team and help win games. And he's not been able to do that on a consistent enough basis, but he's no problems, none at all. But he wanted to play more, we wanted him to play more, and it's probably best for both that he goes and plays there, because we know what he can do. We've seen it. I mean, first season in the Premier League, I remember he had a spell, 5 or 6 games where he did really, really well, and then everyone's been waiting and hoping and pushing for that again, and it's never quite materialised. So hopefully this fresh start can give him that kick he needs to get back on track and start performing.
Is his lifestyle away from the training pitch perhaps the thing that's holding him back then? Because the raw materials, if you like, were there for all to see.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I'm not too sure. I don't know. All I can say is that everyone's tried a lot of things, and the one thing we haven't tried is that fresh start. So he's got the fresh start now, and it'd be great for him. Well, I know he is. I know he's really excited about it. I know he's really looking forward to getting to know his new teammates, to get on the pitch in a new league for him, because it is a new league for him, and it is a good league, a top league. So he's looking forward to show what he can do.
And just clear up this idea of whether it's a loan and where he's at with his contract and what have you. Is his time at Sheffield United essentially done now?
No, it's a loan. It's a loan. No, there were lots of reports, weren't there, about fees here and there, but the fee was a loan fee. It's a loan until the end of the season.
So you brought in Good as well from Brentford. Why him ultimately in the search for the centre half?
Well, he could play 2 positions comfortably in terms of right or central. He could play left, but in terms of him being a right foot, he could play 2 positions. When you watch his games in the Premier League this season with Brentford, it's been in a back 3, so there's that natural fit straight away. He's got experience throughout the leagues, and also then he's shown a real desire and determination to come and play for us, and to get minutes with us, and to come and compete, and to be part of what we want to be. So yeah, there's lots of reasons why I think he's a good fit for us, and there's lots of reasons why I think that we're a good fit for him.
Is there a long-term option with this guy then if it works out?
Well, we're thinking that way, but he's not our player, so that'll be down to him, Brentford and us, if that was something we all wanted to pursue. Yeah, but certainly it's something that I spoke to Charlie about, but out of our control. We'll just see how he does, and he's really keen to impress and get playing games.
So he's not really just come in to be the backup. He's come to be a challenger to Basham and Egan.
Yeah, certainly. He said, that's what we wanted. We could have got backup from anywhere, but what's the point? There were also other clubs who we could have got players, but then their maybe parent teams are saying, yeah, he's got to play, or wanting to impose stiff penalties if they're not playing. But that's no good to us either. We want that honesty about everything we do, and that competitiveness to get in the team, to play. And we're open about that, If everyone is performing at that level, both in training games, as I said, it's easier for me. Then I'll change the game as and when is necessary. Change the team, for each game, because we're stepping into a period of games now, which is going to be furious and fast, and we're going to need all the boys to be ready to step in.
And that's something, because I remember speaking to you about that type of contractual stipulation in the past at Barnsley that you're very much against, if at all avoidable.
What, the penalties and things like that?
Yeah, penalties.
Yeah, listen, I think if you were taking and I've had plenty, young lads on loan from clubs, and some ownership, some boards may put pressure on a manager then and expect them to play just because they've got to pay a fee. If not, and that's wrong. It's wrong for the players already in the building. It's wrong for that young player. If your responsibility is to develop a young player for someone else, the best way to show them what they're doing wrong is to leave them out of the team and then work with them to get back in and reward them when they are doing it, put them back in. There should be nothing financial about that if we're just talking pure performance. So yeah, that's why I'm against it. I know it's part and parcel of, don't get me wrong, but you have to factor it into decisions, like I say, and I don't want a mentality where people think there's a right to play an expectation that they've got a shirt.
Now that the bell has tolled, are you happy with the business? Because there are obviously other bits of deadline day moves that happened for Sheffield United.
Yeah. We this is where we wanted to get to in terms of the positions. Obviously, some things changed with Robin going during the window, things like that. But in terms of getting the balance of the squad better, yeah, we're happier. Got players out who needed to play and who wanted to play, and again, a lot of those are our assets. And if we can't get them in our team, we need them playing elsewhere. Just not only from a football point of view, but if we talk in business, from a business point of view, they're our players. We want them to go and play elsewhere. So yeah, all round, it's been good. As I said, Charlie's come in, obviously Davo's come in. When Robin left, brought Jebbo back, one of our good young academy players, and retained Morgan, which was always the hope as well. So yeah, we're pleased with it.
Has anything moved forward, just as a fact-checking exercise, with regard to contracts for existing players, those with clauses in that can be invoked for next season, that type of thing?
No decisions in terms of who's going to be here next year.
Yeah, who you want to stick around next year.
No, I'll chat with the players regular. As I said before, it's going to come down to, obviously, you can say what league we're in, of course, but we want to be making decisions before then. So it's going to come down to the finances. The squad, like I said, the balance at the minute is good in terms of quality, competition for each position. But we've got a few people who are out of contract, maybe with options on the contract. But we need to be knowing on what we've got to play with. We could easily say, and we sit down regularly in terms of positions that may be needed based on people's contracts, but that might change dependent on money available to bring in and options that's out there in the transfer market.
Changing tack to an existing member of the squad, someone that's often discussed on Football Heaven, Sander Berger. What does he need to do to command regular starting football at Sheffield United?
Yeah, I've had this chat with Sander. He's training great, he's doing well, but you could put Flecky in the same position, probably Flecky more so, in terms of the competing against two midfielders now that's not lost a game when they played together, you know, and that's a great position to be in as a club, as a team. But likewise, I know how good Flecky and Sander are. They're fantastic players, and at any moment they need to be ready to step in. So that's the situation that we found ourselves in. Two people have stepped up and performed when others have been unavailable, and all that's done is create better competition for us. So it's a good thing, especially, as I said, coming into this series of games now where the team will change. You know, I can say that. I know it'll change, whether that's enforced through injury suspensions or enforced or necessary, should I say, through just the workload and the demands that we're going to put on players.
Because I realise this doesn't come from the player, but there's this kind of narrative about Berger that there's this untapped player potential there of this guy that might play, you know, Champions League football one day, and yet at the minute he doesn't get in the starting 11 for Sheffield United. Yeah,
and I agree with that. Yeah, I think he's got huge potential. But again, I sort of said with Sander, my job is the 11, my job's a team. The moment you start prioritising individuals over the team, just as I'd say to the players, you're on a sticky wicket, it's not going to happen. So my job's the team, and the players know that they understand what's expected, and I'd like to think that they also appreciate that every member of the staff will work with them to keep pushing and getting them that place in the starting 11. And it's as simple as that. There's no hidden message in what I'm saying to you. The team's doing great, and everyone not in it is competing to get in it. And do you know what? In my mind, and this is another good thing, if we make any changes, we're not weakening the team at the moment, which is great.
The one person who does seem undroppable, quite rightly so, is Sharp at the minute. Just talk to us about his form at the minute and what he's achieved.
Yeah, he's done great. Obviously, his record's a big thing and something he's really, really pleased with. And you know what? The good thing is, from my point of view, and he's got people chasing him, so that hunger's there. That was the word we all used, weren't it, after the game? So, yeah, he's done great. Trains well, looks after himself, and obviously scored again. So he's in a good place. But he's another one. He also knows the competition now. The way we've got Ollie McBurney training, Dids is back, Jebbo, Illiman is one of the front players, Morgan is an attacking player. So they're the ones who's available on the grass right now. So yeah, the competition in these positions is good. It's strong, and it's where we need it to be. As I said, with the fixture list as it is, with what we're going to face as well in terms of the different opposition and different ways they're going to set up against us. We're going to need each of those individuals because they all bring a different thing to the team.
Is he a bit of a lesson for others? You know, on one hand, we're talking about players who maybe don't have the best diets and don't look after themselves, and yet here's a guy at 35 years old who's probably not been in better shape or form, and he's kept going for years and years and years.
Yeah, he honestly trains well. He pushes himself. I think with the experience and the amount of games comes the knowledge about yourself as well and your body and how to get through a tough long season in terms of fixtures, what to do between fixtures, how to manage yourself straight after a game, how to best prepare for a game, and that's all part and parcel of being a professional sportsman. So yeah, all those things are just as important as your ability with the ball. So yeah, from that aspect, definitely he's got he would be a good person to look at, to see how he trains, to see what he does to prepare, and the mentality he has in his training, you know, in terms of taking everything serious, also playing the game with the manager, if you like, and making sure that everybody sees you at your best at the right time, everybody sees you doing the right things at the right time. All these things are important.
Birmingham next then. What's your assessment of them as a challenge?
A difficult one. They will pose us problems with how direct and intent they are with putting you under pressure, whether that's from set plays, whether that's from balls into your box in open play. So we know we're going to have to stand up to that. We're going to have to earn the right to play. We're going to have to earn the right to get the ball down and pass it, but at the same time stand up to all their threats, which as I've said, regardless of style of play, they still get a lot of big chances per game. They will put you under pressure, and we need to be ready for that, and also manage the game well in those situations.
Yeah, the Mark Roberts long throw, something you remember?
Yeah, something I remember, yeah. So that comes in from both sides. As I said, the set plays, early balls into your box, midfield runners into your box. Everything that does create those chances and disrupts you as a team, they do it, they try and do it. And so regardless, as I said, regardless of style of play, regardless, they create chances in games and they make it difficult for you. So we have to be ready for that, and that's something we've been speaking about.